pretty short right now, so if it's possible, just do the one trail per hour if it's doable.
It should be. We've done more than one trip yesterday.
Yeah, but usually sometimes we need the whole 3 hours. So I can't drive 2 trams at once. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
You're not that. Okay. The
라이글? 저기 있네. They had 2 of them. I don't know where's one of them. Their brother. I don't see one other one.
probably in that little shed.
Oh, you think so?
Sleeping.
Oh, beautiful. I don't know why he's constantly licking his tail.
Itchy.
Yes,
Maybe itchy.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I think it's time for our tour.
Oh. Hi.
On the tram.
Can you scoot one more?
Here.
Oh, you soundtrack. Thank you, babe.
Okay guys, before we start, my name is Grayson, so I'll be your tour guide today. We do have a couple rules before we get started. We kind of treat this like a roller coaster, so please keep all hands and feet inside the vehicle. If you guys drop something, just let me know and I'll pick it up for you.
Okay.
And the second one is we respect our cats and they respect us, so please have nice manners towards them, so no saying their names over and over again, no kissing noises, because they don't really like that. They get kind of upset about it. But it is morning time. I know they are getting fed this morning, so they are going to be up and more personal towards us. It's nicer. It's in the morning, so they'll be more likely to come up to us. The third one is, it's not really a rule, but if you guys want to take videos and pictures, we do encourage them. And if you want the best view of the cat, just let me know. I can reverse back up and try to get you the best view as possible.
Okay.
But if there's no questions, we can get this started.
All right.
Perfect.
Can you take your sunglasses off? Keep them on? Okay.
So our first cats that we are going to look at are these 3 mountain lion boys. So there are 3 of them. They are around 2 years old. And they came to us from a facility that realized they didn't have enough space for them once they were born. We are still in contact with that facility. They still have their parents. But these 3 boys, not 2. These 3 boys, when they first got here, they were around 3 weeks old. So they had a very low immune system. We did have 2 workers become full-time mountain lion parents. They moved on sanctuary grounds. And they took care of these boys very, very well. They had to sterilize everything that came into contact with them since their immune system was so low. But we like to say that since these guys had human mothers, they can pull at our heartstrings just a little bit better than most. But if you can't see them right now, there is a backyard which we will get to see on the back path. And you will also get to see our little upgrading that we're doing since they are getting a little bit bigger. We are adding a tree house for them so they can practice their climbing skills. But I don't know if you've heard the little screeching noises that they're making. It sounds like a cute little distress sound. Well, that is a hunting technique. They use those sounds to draw people in, draw medium-sized animals because it sounds like a hurt bird, a hurt squirrel, a hurt bunny. But it's actually these guys making those sounds. So if you're ever in the Appalachian Mountains and you hear a woman screaming, don't go and save them because it's these guys drawing people in. They use those sounds. And if you are in the Appalachian Mountains, being the one screaming, say something like help me or say words, because if I am there, I will not be going to help you. But I'm pretty sure that is Benji. And then we have Loki and Wilkes.
They're all boys?
Yes, they're
Okay.
all boys.
Uh-huh.
But do we have any questions about these guys?
When you said they sound like a woman, now I feel like, oh, it does sound like a woman.
So they're at the age where they don't have that screaming technique all the way filled out, but they are getting to that age where they're starting to practice a little bit more, and it's kind of terrifying, not gonna lie.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, in a few years, we will have women screaming here on the sanctuary ground.
I don't want to hear that now.
No, it is kind of terrifying.
Thank you.
Of course.
And what do they eat?
So they get a variety of meats. They get chicken, beef, steak. They eat better than I do.
Oh.
All of our food gets donated by Walmart and Tyson.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yeah, these boys get like Wagyu. Yeah,
I heard Tyson gonna shutting down.
Tyson.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I guess
hope they
they
don't.
do have a couple of manufactory, so probably there's other one probably going.
Well, I hope they don't shut down because
Uh-huh.
Not good.
that would not be good at all.
Right.
But we will move on to these three lovely lions. There is going to be a male in that corner that is going to be Raphael. Give me 1 second, I'm going to turn this down. And then this lovely lady sitting up against the fit is going to be Nala. And then the one walking back there is Kiara. So they are 3 siblings, and there is a 4th one, but unfortunately he cannot be in with them. But I will get to explain that more on the backpack when we meet him. These guys have a very funny story that involves them, so I won't get in too much about them.
Okay.
But we will get to see her on the other side. She sees the food truck coming along.
Oh, I see. Food truck coming.
That's what motivates all of them is the food truck.
Oh, midnight.
She's up there.
She's taking a
There
nap.
she is. She's beautiful. So, that is Miss Midnight. Midnight is a melanistic leopard, or commonly known as a black leopard. We know that she's a leopard because she does have spots, which are called rosettes. And while you can't see them right now, when she is out sunbathing on a nice sunny afternoon, you can kind of see them pop up a little bit. But we call her a melanistic leopard because she produces a large amount of melanin, and that melanin produces the black fur in her. But Midnight here came from private ownership. She was there for about 4 years. And the guy ended up getting married, had kids, and Midnight started practicing her natural stalking skills on that child. The wife was like, yeah, I don't feel too comfortable with that. So that is how we got Midnight. She's been here for about 13 years.
Oh.
And while she was in that private ownership, she did get declawed. So that is basically cutting off to their first knuckle. So she is walking on her wrist. So with that, she does have a lot of arthritis, which we help her with that by giving her daily doses of glucosamine. And that helps her out a lot, but since she is a leopard, she loves to be up high, she loves climbing, and without claws, she cannot. So you can see that we have built rock rocks up. We have logs, and that's just to help her get into those high places. But she's still a very playful cat, even at her older age.
How old is she now?
She's 21.
21 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long do they live in captivity?
So they can live pretty old. We did have a 23-year-old cat, so they can get up there. It's more likely that they'll survive longer in captivity because they are getting hand-fed. They're getting taken care of. They're getting medicine. But in the wild, they can live about 10 to 15 years. But yeah. Midnight hears that truck coming. Her ears are perking up. But do we have any other questions about Miss Midnight?
Does she ever making noise?
When chicken is around, you can kind of hear her make a little guttural noise, but it's not as intense as a lion or a tiger. Or when kids are around.
Okay.
She can kind of get excited around kids.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions?
No.
Okay.
Food truck.
So I am going to stop here to give you guys one last warning. All of our male cats are intact, so that means they can spray. I haven't had anyone get sprayed on my tour, but sometimes it does happen. It's not a huge deal. It smells like old buttered popcorn, so it's not the worst smell, but it does last about an hour.
Okay.
But if you guys want to take a listen to that. So that is what we call a line cam, and it was actually a successful one. So we have 4 brides of lions here. So the alpha started that one. He was that very deep one, and that means that every single pride had to answer him. That's just their way of communicating. They use it out in the wild, and in the wild it can travel up to 5 miles. But here it can only go about 1 to 2 because of all of our trees and things. But I will say our neighbors do wake up to lions carriage sometimes, so yeah, they can be pretty loudy at the sanctuary.
Where Harry go?
Harry passed away about a month and a half ago. Yeah, it was.
Oh no.
I wasn't here when he passed away. I started about 2 weeks afterwards. Yeah, it was very, very hard for the sanctuary to get that past them.
He was sick.
So I think they had to do surgery on him, and it was something to do with his kidneys, I'm pretty sure. I'm not entirely sure, but the people inside know more about it than I do. But yes, he did pass away. It was very, very hard for us.
So y'all bury him?
Yes, we did. So all of our cats, once they get here to the sanctuary, they will never leave it. We have a burial ground for all of our cats that most people don't know about because we don't want people to drive over there and try to unbury them. But yes, they will all get buried here, live out happy lives until But the car is kind of being, doesn't know which side he wants to go in. But this guy is Dakar. Dakar is one of our white Bengals here at the sanctuary, and yeah. So he came here in 2017 with 17 other white Bengals from a breeding and leasing facility. So one of those tigers was his brother Bashir, and we still have both of them. So while male tigers cannot live together because they are solitary in nature, we did keep them up as neighbors. So Bashir lives over here, and they do share a fence line, but there is 4 to 5 feet of unclaimed territory in between them. So these two boys still have a very good relationship. They will run up and down the fence line. They will splash each other in their pools. And they also have what we like to call water gun fights. And that's just them spraying back and forth at each other, trying to claim that territory. But sometimes they actually end up claiming each other. But you can notice that he has that white fur, the brownish black stripes, and the blue eyes. That is a recessive gene in Bengal tigers. And to get one of these guys, if you were to breed 2 orange Bengals, it is a 1 in 10,000 chance of getting one. And if you were to breed 2 white Bengals, it is a 100% chance. So these guys were very wanted for performances, circuses, all around. They are beautiful, but with that comes a lot of inbreeding. They're trying to push out as many as possible. And inbreeding can cause organ failure, kidney failure. Stillborn rates are higher. They can have crossed eyes, hitches and steps. And luckily, these 2 boys are pretty healthy. We haven't had too many problems with them. But sometimes we don't figure out those problems until it's too late, because these guys are very good at hiding things. They don't want to show weaknesses, because in the wild it could cause them to be hunted and killed. But Dakar here, him and his brother have a special name at the sanctuary. They are called our destructive duo. So Dakar here is the brains of the operation. So when we pass his yard, you will see that he is a 3-tier platform, while our other cats have 1 tier. And that is because he was able to knock that 1 tier over. And it got to the point where we were just at the point where we were like, well, Dakar, what do you want us to do? So as a surprise to him, we did build him a 3-tier one. And it's either because he really, really loves it, or it's just because he can't knock it over. He hasn't been able to move it so far. But Dakar also likes to give us the fright of our lives. If you see these water pans out front, he will hide all 500 pounds of himself behind those, and when we walk around that corner, he will jump up and scare us, making us question whether we are in the right area of work. But do we have any questions about Mr. Dakar? Okay. We will move on. We're going to look to our leftover here. We will actually move up to the front of this. Okay, can everyone see those 2 lovely tigers? So the one in front here is going to be Tony, and his sister is behind him. Her name is Lily. So they are both Siberian tigers, and they are around 5 years old. So they came from a facility that realized they didn't have the right papers for them once the Big Cat Safety Act of 2022 came to pass. So they were brought here with a Siberian lynx, who you will also get to meet on this tour. But these 2 guys, we did have to put Tony in by himself when he first got here because Lily was overweight and she needed to be spayed. So we had Lily up in our retirement center, and we started noticing that Tony was getting really sad and depressed. And we were like, buddy, what's going on? Well, it's because he missed his sister so much. So once she was healthy, we did decide to reintroduce them, and that was about 4 months ago. And in those 4 months, they have lived their very happy lives. They are 2 of our younger cats, so they are a lot more playful. You can see them tackling each other, playing with their barrels. You will also find either one or both of them in their pools on hot, sunny days. We like to call Tony our resident hippo because when you pull up to him while he's in his pool, all you will see is his ears and his nose sticking out. We also like to call them our resident police officers. So we get around here on trams and golf carts, and they will hide in either corner, and they hear us coming up, and they will actually run after us. We like to say it's because they are telling us to slow down, but it also could be because they're practicing their stalking skills on us. But you will kind of notice that Lily is a lot smaller than him, and that is because Tony weighs about 100 pounds more than her. So they are our largest natural cats that we have, and that's because in Siberia it is very, very cold. They have to protect themselves from those cold winters, and in the winter they will actually gain about 100 pounds more. They get very, very fluffy. But do we have any questions about our lovely siblings?
This would be the extra white they have on them, like that's for like camouflage in Siberia. Like the Bengals are more orange, right? And they're a little whiter.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure. That's actually a really good question, and it's actually kind of cool to think about. It could be, actually.
Siberian is a more lighter color.
Yeah.
In Sumatra, they got a full kind right now because the Sumatra, that's the smallest one tiger. And the Malaysian tiger is probably Bengal tiger, about the same size. Then Siberian is a bigger, biggest. And I go all over watching them. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
He is one of my favorite. I actually have him on my water bottle. But we will also get to see them on the back path because we pass right by their habitat.
I know, that's the downside.
So this lovely guy is Bashir. This is going to be Dakar's brother. So one way that we can tell them apart is their striping pattern. Their striping pattern is unique to them like our fingerprints are to us. But we can also tell them apart by their personalities. So like I said, they are part of the destructive duo. Bashir here is going to be he's the bronze of the operation. He is very, very destructive over his toys and his enrichment. So one thing that we love to do with our tigers is give them enrichment like cardboard boxes, their barrels, and it's just because a tired cat is a happy cat is a happy keeper. So we put scents on them, we put smells, we use oregano, thyme, catnip, we use different perfumes. Their favorite is actually Obsession by Calvin Klein. So men, if you are ever out in the wild, do not wear it because it is rumored to have animal musk in it. So it attracts these guys. But we also like to give our cats bowling balls because they're small enough to bat around, but heavy enough where you won't see them flying through the air hitting people in the face. But Bashir here decided one day that it looked like a very tasty snack. He put it in his mouth and it got so far back that it got stuck. So he actually had to clamp down on it, breaking it right in half. And since we did not want him to break any of his canines or swallow any bowling ball fragments, we did have to ban him from bowling. And he got very, very sad. So another thing we like to give our cats is tiger balls. And it didn't last very long with our lovely guy here. So one of our donors came to us one day and he was like, well, I have something in my garage that could possibly handle him. And it is actually an elephant ball. So compared to a tiger ball that is 70 to 80 pounds of pure plastic, this elephant ball is 100 to 150 pounds. And it is going to be in this back corner. It's that grayish blue ball. And compared to me, I'm about 5'4". it comes up to chest level on me, so it is pretty decent size. He will actually wrap his two front paws around it and bunny hop it up the hill. He'll take naps on it, and sometimes it'll fall out from underneath him, hitting that back fence, making a really loud crashing noise. We like to say that it's partly revenge because his naps get interrupted a lot by his lovely neighbors. They are some of the loudest on the sanctuary, so he likes to interrupt their naps. Alright, do we have any questions about Bashir here?
We're good to go.
Perfect. So we are going to get a good look at this guy in the back because I bet you by the time we get into the back, he will be moved. But that is Krishna. Krishna is another one of those white Bengals that came from that breeding and leasing facility. And Krishna, compared to Dakar, who is around 500 pounds, he's about 575. So he is a very big boy. He has a lot of muscle. So at that breeding and leasing facility, since he was so muscly and large, they used him as the main breeding stud because they wanted his offspring. But unfortunately, we did have a daughter that came with him, and at around 5 years old, she did pass away due to kidney failure. And that goes to show that we can have a healthy guy like Krishna as a father, and then the next generation can be fatal. So the only ailments that we have seen from Krishna is stiff joints, and we just give him daily doses of glucosamine like midnight, and that does help him out a lot. But sometimes it doesn't, and on nice days you will see him in that pool. That cool water does help relieve the joint pain, but he also will still play with his boing ball. But he is on our older side, so we are in the process of moving him up to our retirement center so he can live out the rest of his days without being interrupted during his naps. But hopefully he's still on that back corner because he is a very magnificent cat, and you can see the difference in sizes. To be Matula, and the lovely male on the right is Judah. So they came with 3 other lions from a breeding and leasing facility that failed at breeding them. And when we got them, the 2 males started arguing about who is going to be alpha. So we had to go through and decide who is the alpha between these 2 guys. So one way to do that is looking at their manes. You can notice that he's a little bit more blonder around the face. He has less thicker around the face, so it goes to show that he is actually the beta of the 2. And you will get to see the difference in the manes when we come up to Leo or Alpha. But sometimes it hurts Judah's feelings that he is not Alpha, so he will start those things called lion caroling. That's just his way of saying, hey guys, I'm still relevant, I'm still here. But since he is not Alpha, no one else has to answer him. And that's where Matula comes in. Matula is a very good girlfriend towards him. She likes to make sure he feels heard. So she will sometimes answer those lion carols. But she also likes to put him in his place. So they have a chair out in their yard. We like to call it the throne. And Judah will go over, sit on it, act like the king of the sanctuary. And Matula will come by a few minutes later, wedge herself between the back and him, and completely push him off. So I like to say that Matula is actually the king of this area.
King is right there, don't you?
What?
King is a male over there.
Yes, he is over here.
He's the king.
Yeah. But these 2 guys have a very good relationship. They match each other's personality very well. They're a lot more playful than our other 3 lions. But female lions are actually the most important for pride. So they are the ones that are going out to hunt and get food for the other lions, the male lion and the cubs. So truthfully, I like to say that female lions, the lionesses, are more important. But do we have any questions about these? Oh, they see the
Ooh,
food truck.
about to wake up. Ooh. Wow.
He is massive.
Big boy.
He is a big boy. Do we have any questions about him?
Yeah, he's big.
How old is him?
He 12.
12 years old.
Yes. He is 12.
He's looking at the food truck.
Oh yeah. That food truck is more important than anything else.
You have to feed it.
So these two ladies, they're going to be Niara and Itana. I can't tell which is which with them laying down. But they are in this area with the alpha. His name is Leo. And he's actually up on their bedroom taking a nap. So we will pull up to see him. There he is. Whoa.
I have a question. Is where's a lawliger?
He's still in there. I think he might be behind his bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We will back up and try to find him in a few.
Bingo. Oh, he's right here.
Yes.
Leo.
This guy is Leo. You can notice that his mane is a little bit more darker, and if you were to lift up his face, it's a lot more thicker around his face. So that means that he is the alpha. And when we got them, we knew that he had a lot of testosterone, so he would want to reproduce with these two ladies. Well, since we are a non-breeding facility, we needed to find a way to stop that. So we looked at all of our options. We looked at spaying our females, but it did have some consequences. They could gain a lot of weight. It had a slower healing time. It was more intrusive. And so then we looked at neutering Leo. Well, to neuter a male lion, that means that he would actually lose all of the mane, and he would start to look like one of his ladies, which then they would actually kick him out of the pride because they know he can't do his job. And they are pride animals. They need to be around other people, other lions. So we didn't want that to happen. So then we looked at our last option, which was giving Leo a vasectomy. So it had great healing time. It was less intrusive. It looked amazing on paper. But little did we know that with as much testosterone that Leo has, he was actually able to reverse that. So on April 1st, 2016, we had 4 cubs from Niara. And then about 6 weeks later, we had 4 more cubs from Itana. So the 3 that you met up at the front are Niara's cubs. And we will also get to meet Itana's cubs over here. So we still have all 8 cubs, and while they're not cubs anymore, they are around 8 years old. I still like to call them our babies of the sanctuary. But we did have to go ahead and spay our females because we did not want another breeding incident. And so now all of our females do get spayed if they are with a male cat. And they are doing very, very well. We watch their diet to make sure that they're not gaining any extra weight so they stay healthy. And these 2 ladies do a very good job at that. But now, since Leo's job is done, he has given us 8 cubs. He doesn't have to fight over Alpha. He does does sleep about 20 hours a day, making him one of our laziest cats at the sanctuary. And most of the time, his ladies actually join him. They sleep more than any cats here, and that's because they know their jobs are done. But since we did break our no breeding rule, we did have these mothers. We did take Leo out of the habitat, and we had the two girls raise their cubs until they were about 2.5, and they did a very good job. But that means that those type lions have more lion manners than others, and so that's why they are only on this tour and are behind the scenes. But do we have any questions before we go meet that beautiful guy? So I will say that he is our notorious sprayer, so I will kind of keep an eye out on him, and if I see him start to do it, I will either back up or go forward as fast as possible. But this lovely guy, his name is Ty, and he is one of our very special cats here at the sanctuary. He is not a tiger, and he is not a lion. He's not even a liger. He is actually a tiliger. So that means
What?
A tiliger.
Tiliger?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that means that he is 75% tiger, 25% lion.
Uh-huh.
And that means he is also very rare. So his dad was a tiger and his mom was a liger. And that is only possible because the mom was the liger. So liger males are completely sterile, and liger females only have a 10% chance of reproducing. So he is actually one of 8 in the world. We have one, and Branson Wild World has another. But yes, Ty is very special. But you can also see that he shares characteristics of both a lion and tiger. You can see his tiger stripes. But he also is a little bit less orange than Bengal tigers. He has that little lighter color like lions do. But he also has a start of a mane. So we like to call it his prepubescent peach fuzz. Because it's not a full mane and it's not even half a mane. But he still has a little peach fuzz. But if you look at his face, you will see that he has spots on them. And those are actually called lion cub spots. So when lion cubs are born, they have spots on them, and that is a camouflage technique. And usually once they get a little bit older, they will grow out of those spots. But Ty here has not. He is a fully grown cat. He is about 8 years old, and he still has his tiger cub spot, lion cub spots. I'm getting my cats confused. He still has his lion cub spots.
Tiliger, right?
Yes.
Tiliger. I get confused, you know.
Oh yeah.
Liger, Ligone.
Yeah, there are a ton of hybrids out there. But he is 100% man-made. You will never find one of these out in the wild.
Right.
Because it is impossible. Because lions and tigers do not mix.
Do they still breed Tiliger like that?
I'm not entirely sure. I know it's really, really hard to get one of these guys. So we don't have a ton of information about them. We don't know a lot of their lifespan.
Right.
We don't know medical problems because there's just not too much information about them.
Okay.
He is very cool. If you
That's
want
so
a really
beautiful.
good picture of his face, there is a really good postcard in the gift shop. So if you want to see his face a little bit better, he is one of our most gorgeous cats that we have. But we will move on to this guy. Ready?
Bengal tiger. Bengal. Woo, handsome.
So this lovely guy, his name is Cora. He is a Bengal tiger, and he's also our only Bengal tiger here.
Beautiful.
Orange Bengal tiger. So this is what the white Bengals would look like if they were orange. But But Cora here, he has come a very long way. When he started out, he was a part of the cub petting or pay-to-play facility. So that means that they take those young tigers away from their mothers. And since they are not getting their mother's milk, they have a very, very low immune system. So then being passed around to humans who are not the cleanest, these guys can get very sick, and unfortunately a lot of them did pass away. So the pay-to-play facility had a 90% mortality rate, and luckily for us, that is now banned due to the Big Cat Safety Act of 2022. But at around 3 to 4 months, when they start growing their teeth and claws, they're not safe to be around people. They were sold to either retirement centers, circuses, performances, roadside attractions, and if none of those options were available, they were actually euthanized. They were sold for their fur, their teeth, their bones, anything that you can imagine. But Cora here was lucky enough, he was sent to a retirement center, and while we are a retirement center, the place that Cora went to wasn't the best case scenario. So it was rumored that he was housed with 5 other male tigers, and like I said earlier, male tigers are solitary. So you will notice that he doesn't have any tiger neighbors, and that is because he gets very anxious around other tigers.
Mm-hmm.
It was also rumored that during feeding time, they would take a bucket of meat, dump it over the fence, and these guys would have to fight for him. So with that comes a lot of food anxiety. He has a very bad relationship with food. And since Cora knows that the cats are getting fed right now, that's why he's pacing. He still has a very bad relationship. But we are working very, very hard with him to cease that bad relationship with food. So we have been using productive training on him, which you can use on your cats and dogs at home. But Cora here is also our only cat that will lay down for a piece of chicken, because if you lay down a cat, it actually relieves their stress. It makes them just a little bit more calmer. But if you ever go on one of our feeding tours, he will lay down and then take the piece of chicken. But Cora here, he has taught us a lot about training our other cats. So Leo is actually doing it very nicely right now. We have taught our cats to lay up against their fences, and that makes it easier for our vet to give shots, take blood from them. But we have also taught them to put their paws up onto the fence, and that shows them the paw pads, the claws, make sure everything is healthy. But they will also open their mouths, show us their canines, and we can do all that with just chicken.
Where's the other tiger was here?
They might be down here.
Oh, okay. Or lion.
Yeah.
Lion.
I'm not seeing any in the bedroom, so we will move on and try to find them down here.
That's the babies.
Oh yes. So these are 3 of the 4 of the lion cubs. These are Tana's cubs. So that blondie right there, that is going to be Chaloti. Sorry. The darker one is Mavuto, and the lovely lady down there, that is Chica. So they are siblings. And you're probably wondering why we have 2 male lions living together, and that is because they have a mutual agreement. Mavuto knows that I'm getting them mixed up. The dark one is Chaloti, the blonde one is Mavuto. Okay. Mavuto knows that if he tries to go against Chaloti, he will get his butt kicked because he does not have enough testosterone. So that is why we are comfortable enough to put these guys together. They have a very good relationship. A lot of the times you will see them cuddling with each other. But their biggest problem is actually their sister, Chica. Chica is our main troublemaker in this habitat. So while these 2 boys are taking a nap, hi baby. She will come over, slap them on their butts with her big paws, run away and hide, and these 2 boys will jump up, questioning who disturbed disturbed each other's nap. And then they will start a little argument. And then once they see their sister hiding, they realize it was actually their sister that disturbed their sleep. But I have also seen her throw bowling balls at them when she is not getting her way. So she is our biggest troublemaker. She looks very sweet and innocent, but she is not. But you're probably wondering where the fourth one is, and we can see her right up here. So this lovely lady, her name is Baby. And can anyone tell me why she is separated?
She only got a 3.
So she is our tripod lion.
Uh-huh.
She has 3 legs. She has 2 in the back and 1 in the front. And she was not born with 3 legs. She did have 4, but at around 6 months old, we came to work one morning. And we were noticing that she was acting very different. She wasn't acting like herself, so we knew something was going on. So we did take her to our vet, and they did an x-ray, and it showed that she broke her shoulder growth plate. So that could be either one of 2 things. She could have been playing too rough with her siblings, or she could have been stepped on by a parent. We will never know. But we looked at our options of what we could do with her, and it's very, very hard to put a cast on a lion. And so our vet was like, well, amputation would be the best bet. And that is because if we were to leave the leg on, it would actually cause future problems with growing. So we did go ahead and amputate her. And while she looks very sweet, she is actually one of our fiercest lions here. She actually scares me the most, so that goes to show that even with 3 legs, she makes up for that leg and attitude. But she is separated because she is the weakest link out of the 4. And if those 2 boys had any unresolved anger issues, they would actually take that out on her, and we did not want her getting hurt farther or possibly getting killed. But you also notice that her habitat is a lot smaller. But that is because cats will want to walk their entire enclosure to make sure that it's safe, and we wanted her to be able to do that in one go. Because if we didn't want her to tire out, because it could actually cause anxiety of her not being able to see everything. But it is also flatter because we didn't want her to possibly hurting another leg, because if she were to hurt another leg, it would actually reduce her mobility to next to nothing. So don't count her out of the race, because if you can look at her tree trunks, they are still very scratched up. So that means she is standing on those back 2 paws and scratching. She also has our highest bird kill count here at the sanctuary, and that is with 3 legs. So if you are ever out in the wild and you see a 3-legged lion, still run as fast as possible, because she still gets going. She's going to attack that bug. Yeah. But since lions are pride animals, they get social anxiety if they are not around others. We didn't want to separate her completely, so we did do a shared fence line. And you can see that 2 of the siblings are actually using it quite well. So it's just a bunch of fences pushed up against each other. It's big enough where they can still smell each other, feel each other's fur, but it's not big enough where any claws or teeth can get through to hurt one another. But most days you will see all 3 or 1 sibling sitting up against that fence. And Baby actually reduces her right. She actually stays on that platform more than anything. But she is trying to get that bug.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, so this next cat's going to be kind of hard to see. But if you look in this back corner, she is sitting on top of her bedroom. I will drive kind of slowly by. She's kind of sitting up. So that lovely lady is Karma. She's another one of our white Bengals. that came from that breeding and leasing facility. But before that, she was a circus cat. So,
She's new. New family? No?
she's been here since 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we have noticed that she does have a little hitch in her step when she's walking, and we don't know if it's from an inbreeding ailment or if it's from an old injury of the circus that didn't heal properly. But she does work with it very, very well. Our two boys. But Karma here, on a good day, you can still see her trying to practice her little circus routine. But sometimes when we are working with our wolf dogs, you will hear a giant splash. And that is actually Karma launching herself into her pool. She has a little but a little hill area. I have also seen her pounce on that, and it kind of looks like a little house cat when they're chasing after things. But Karma here does practice her right of not being on tour. She is one of our cats that is more likely to skip out on being on tours. And we like to say that we are not skipping her, she is actually skipping us. But sometimes she does stay up on her bedroom so we can get a little bit of a view of her. But do we have any questions about Miss Karma? Okay, so we will move on to...
What kind of circus move is she trying to practicing?
She'll do like jumps, and we have her ball in there. She'll do little tricks with that sometimes.
Oh, okay.
She's very cute. I love her. She is very lovable. But we are going to move away from cats for a second. And I'm really glad you got to see them, because most of the time they do not come up because they are scared of the tram. But that lovely guy right there, that is Ozzy, and the one coming through, that is Shadow. So they are two of our wolf hybrids. And most times they're not coming up here because they are very people shy. They don't really like to be around people, and Shadow actually sticks to her name, staying in the shadows. But they know their food time is about to come up, so that's why they're more likely to come up here. But they did come from private ownership. Ozzy here, his family ended up moving houses, and they realized they did not have enough space for him. So they wanted him to live out his life in the woods, and if they were to put him in the wild, he would not be able to survive. So they did end up sending him here. Shadow, on the other hand, her owner unfortunately passed away, and her last wish was for Shadow to live out her little wolfy life. So she was also sent here, and Shadow and Ozzy have a very good, loving relationship. They are more of our two less social dogs, so they are put in here together. And we are also in the process of moving all of our wolf dogs around because they don't like to be on tours. They don't really like people. So we did move two of ours up to a retirement center, and these two are in the process of being moved with the main wolves. But we do have one more. You might not get to see him, and he's not technically on tour, but people always ask about him. So he is recovering from a torn ACL, so that is why he is by himself. We're also trying to get him to a more maintainable weight because he did lose a lot of weight. Because when we were putting him outside, he was losing a lot of weight, and so now we're trying to get him to gain weight. This is his first week out in a habitat. He was in our basement for a while, healing up, and so we're hoping to trust him not to hurt himself again. But he is one of our good dogs. He is also one of my favorite dogs. He is very sweet. But we are about to go down a little bit of a hill, so please hold on to your kids and all of your friends. back to their habitats. You will get to see a lot of their enrichment, their toys. And we'll see about 4 habitats and then we'll get back to some cats. So his first habitat here is Cora. You will see that it's longer. There's more hiding holes and that's it. If he's not feeling like being on tour today, he doesn't have to be. So you will have to see one of his hiding holes. And I'm guessing his barrel is in his pool because he likes to practice drowning. And it is, yes. And then our 2 lionesses, they have a lot of logs in their habitat, and that's because they like kind of attacking them. They like creeping up on them and attacking them, rolling them down their hill. And this is Krishna's tiger claw. You can see how damaged it is. And this lovely guy, this is Krishna. So you can kind of see the size difference between him and the car. But you also might notice the red around his eyes, and that's because he suffers allergies just like I do. So he does get a little irritated around the eyes.
Uh-oh.
But you guys are very lucky because usually he's hiding out in his bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Hi, buddy.
Can we go a little more that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, I see.
Hi, honey. You're about to get a chicken wing.
What happened to his eye?
So that's just allergies.
Oh, okay. You think it's gonna get better
Yeah, so
eventually?
with all of the allergies, the pollen, the mold out in the air, it's just everyone's struggling with it. And I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think we can give him allergy pills.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of just has to feel like everyone else. I'm suffering just with you, buddy. I'm tired of it too.
Don't feel bad. I'm suffering too. Hopefully you feel better though. Beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
So we will
I'm so glad to see you though.
give him his treat.
Get well. Get well.
Hi, Granny. And then we will get to see, I'm pretty sure that is, no, I'm pretty sure that's Lily. Whoa. And Tone is probably sitting in front of the bed.
He was down in the corner back
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even see him. I'm sorry, buddy. But then this is Miara's cub's habitat. There is Raphael sitting right there with his beautiful hair.
He is awesome.
He's very handsome.
He is very handsome.
Yeah.
He does have some very good hair.
He got a better hair than me.
I know, same. And then I did say that there was a 4th one, which is a 50-50 chance on whether or not we will get to see him because his inside has an industrial fan. But we will move up to try to see him. Come see him.
Oh, I see. He coming out.
Whoa.
So that is Afton. He is the 4th sibling. So Afton is technically the alpha of this pride. But we put him with his sisters and he wasn't treating them so nicely. So we did have to separate him and give Raphael the sisters. And Raphael takes very good care of them. And Afton, we have noticed, doesn't really like to be around other lions. He has a lot of anxiety, so we did decide to separate him. But like with Baby and her siblings, we did do a shared fence line. So that fence right there, those siblings can lay up against it, smell each other. But it's just not big enough where any claws or paws can go into. But there is the lovely Afton giving you guys a show.
Man, he has a very big mane.
Yes. He actually, I think, has one of the best manes here at the sanctuary. If you look at our Instagram and Facebook, I think our most recent picture has him, and his hair is magnificent.
Beautiful.
But yeah, most days you will find him here in his second yard, and that is because he has a very cute neighbor, which we will get to see here. He's going to be on that bedroom area. That is Casper. He is a Siberian lynx. He came with Tony and Lily. So, if he were to stand up, you would notice that his back legs are a lot longer than his front legs, and that makes him a very good That makes him a very good climber and jumper. So that you will notice why he has a roof over his habitat, and that is because we did not want him to learn that he could actually get out very easily. We did not want a Siberian lynx on the loose in Saddlebrooke, Missouri. But just because he is cute and small and looks like a very tasty snack, he knows he does. And he lives in between two apex predators. He has Afton on one side, mountain lion boys on the other, and he will walk up and down this path, strutting his stuff, and he can actually have all four boys with their faces up against the fence drooling after him. Well, he will use that to his advantage, because then that makes him able to practice his spray range. So he will actually spray those boys in the face, taunting them, saying, "Haha, you can't get me." He is our ball of fire. That is for sure. Hi, Casper. Handsome boy.
Mountain lions are very rare in the wild, right?
Actually, there are only natural Missouri. They're the only cats that are in Missouri that we know, native to Missouri. That's what I was trying to say. But they're down here because they've heard a little girl voice. They love kids.
Look at the baby.
Put that one on the ground. That is going to be Wilkes, and I think that one is Benji.
They're looking at you.
Oh yes, they are fascinated.
Parker, look. Look at the kitty.
A lot of the times, if these guys aren't down here and I have kids on my tram, the parents will actually tickle them until they start laughing, and then these boys will come sprinting down. I'm like, you guys are using your kids as bait.
No. No bait.
But these are our lovely boys.
Gosh,
They're actually being very good right now.
What?
Yeah, that sounds very cute, and you guys think it does.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do. But you will get to see that we are making their tree house right there. It is a process that has taken a little bit. But we do have one more cat on our porch, but he is newer to us. And he is still he's actually out, so I'm not even going to see it. But he is that little,
Oh, he's a fishing cat?
he
No.
is a Savannah cat.
Savannah cat.
So he is a serval mixed with a domestic house cat. And then the little guy back there, that is Finn. That is one of our feral barn cats. So Ziggy here, he was found eating farmer's chickens. The farmer was getting tired of it, so he did send him here. And when we first got Ziggy, we wanted him to get comfortable with us, so we had him up in a retirement center. And that is where he became friends with Finn. So once we moved Ziggy down here, we started noticing that Finn was walking about half a mile here from our retirement center to hang out with him during the day, and then would walk back up to the barn at night to get fed. So we did decide to move Finn's food and water down here. So now these two, as you can see, they will lay up against the fence with each other. They will play with each other. But we do not allow them to go in the same habitat together because we do not want Ziggy to hurt Finn. And that is because he is still a wild animal. But yeah, usually he's not out because he is getting still used to our voices and the tram. But so you guys are lucky because you can see both of them.
When he got here?
I know it was before me.
Okay.
So
it's only maybe 2 months? 2, 3 months?
I would have to ask when.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, he looked like a fishing cat.
Yeah, I thought he was just a normal cat. When I first got here, I was like, why do you guys have him in there?
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
And then I saw Finn and I was like, okay, I kind of see a difference. But yes, these two have a very good relationship with each other. They are the best of friends. Okay, so the last animals that we will talk about today are our farm animals. We do have 1 horse, 2 steers, and 1 llama. So, people always ask, are they food? No, they are not food. They are our friends. They will get to retire here just like the rest of our animals, and they will never have to see the inside of a lion or tiger's stomach. So also, if you ever know anyone that wants to donate animals to us, please do not, because they will just become our family.
And so through that process, we actually take up to the first knuckle off of all of our cats, little and big. So Midnight, instead of walking flat, she doesn't want those joints to be hitting the ground anymore. She actually rotates a little bit and starts putting more pressure on her wrist. That's very unnatural. That's kind of like us plopping back on our heels, walking like that for the rest of our lives. I can't even do it for 10 seconds. So it can cause a little bit of joint pain. It can also cause problems such as arthritis. Miss Midnight, she still gets the zooming. She's not going to show us right now. She's very sleepy. But she runs around. She's doing really great because we have her on a supplement called glucosamine. Little joint pain supplement helps with that day-to-day stress on those joints. She's going to be on it forever. She may go forever. So I have no problems with her. She's a very happy, healthy cat just with that glucosamine. So she's doing very, very well, and we're very happy to have her here. Obviously, she is in a tree house. Leopards like to be high up in the trees. We do give her a little platform so she can get up there a little easier instead of giving her a tree to climb up. That'd be really unfair since she doesn't have those claws. Obviously, it's her favorite place to hang out. I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can do a little more coaxing to get her down here for you guys. But I don't want to waste too much of your time, so I'll give her a couple of seconds, and if she doesn't come, we'll move on to a tiger. Minnie! Minnie! Midnight! Minnie, lady! Minnie! Yeah. That's cool, huh? No cameras, no nothing? Hey! Sweet thing! Hey! chicken snack, great. That means they're well fed. If we force them to keep eating, they can sometimes have weight problems. The cats are very good at managing what they can eat, what they don't want to eat, just like us. So she obviously just watching herself. She doesn't want that extra chicken snack right now. That is perfectly fine because I know some hungry cats out there that we'll get to see along the way. Oh, she's rolling over. She's going to be a liar. Nikki! You have 10 seconds. Countdown. Yeah. No, I'm not wasting your guys' time. Let's go ahead and move on. If you guys want to keep following me along this way. If you want to turn on the AMs after you're done, I marked off what I did in the basement. Perfect. Are you guys excited to see some big cats? Yeah. You guys are first in line.
Don't run, Amy.
Yes, we have tigers, lions, leopards, and a hybrid cat, so you're going to see a lot today. But we are going to stop really quick right here. I have a little thing to go over. Alrighty guys, so before we pass through this gate, I do have a slight warning for you guys. So our next cats are going to be quite large. Big cats like to mark their territory to tell you what's theirs and what's not yours. And how they do that is they're going to spray. So some of our cats look at us and they're like, huh, maybe you should be my territory. So what they're going to do is they're going to turn their butt towards you. Their tail is going to go straight up in the air, and then a couple seconds later they're going to spray. What I recommend for you is if you see that back end of the cat, you see the tail going up, step to the left, step to the right. Please do not run. It doesn't happen very fast. I have a very good eye for it, so I'm going to let you know, hey, that cat's going to spray, and you just have to decide which direction you want to go. Please do not go straight back. If you go straight back, their range is 7 to 10 feet. You're not going to be able to walk far enough. So left or right. Got it?
Yes.
Got it. All right, let's go meet some tigers. If you guys want to kind of keep walking, start heading towards that big tree.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm back.
Yes, I remember you. We know the yes, we know the drill. Good.
해리가 이곳에 살았었는데 호별로 떠났다고 하네요. How old Harry was?
Mr. Harry was 11 years old, but he did pass away due to some health complications, and so this habitat is currently uninhabited. It's obviously a little overgrown. We're going to have to go in, mow it down. We do have plans in the future to kind of move a couple cats around because this is a really big, really beautiful habitat. Just right now, with the heat and stuff, we don't want to move our cats because sometimes that can be extra stressful in this really, really hot heat. I know I wouldn't want to go move houses today, and so we just kind of wait until the colder weather before we're going to go through with that. So currently uninhabited, but that's okay because there's a white tiger next door.
Okay.
While it walks around.
Layla, get over here, baby.
It's okay.
We're actually going to do this tour backwards. Joke's on you guys. We're going to head this way. Oh, never mind. We're going to do the tour correctly. I'm just keeping you guys on your toes. If you guys want to go ahead, turn this corner and walk right towards that white tiger. But remember not to stick your hands through the fence or touch the fence.
Yeah, don't touch that thing.
Beautiful.
Remember, don't touch that fence.
It's like all the food.
Oh my goodness.
It's
So pretty.
He got a beautiful blue eye.
Very handsome man who's very excited to see you guys. His name is Dakar. Dakar is a white Bengal tiger. So usually when we think of tigers, we probably think of those big orange striped creatures, right?
Yeah.
This is the same thing. the white fur color is just a recessive gene. So it does still happen. It's just incredibly rare, and it only happens about 1 in 10,000 times naturally. So out in the wild, when someone saw their first white tiger, they were like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, we have to have it. So they brought it into captivity. From that point forward, everyone wanted white tigers, right? They're so rare. Unfortunately, they did try to breed for them. In the beginning, they were having very little success just because of that recessive gene. Going forward, they came up with the brilliant idea of inbreeding. That does always guarantee that those recessive genes will pop back up in a population. However, they can come with some health side effects. So Mr. Dakar, happy, healthy, don't be worrying about him. But some of his friends in the white tiger community will have crossed eyes. Some of them will have deformities. Those are things that won't necessarily always affect the cat's health. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have organ failure. Our white tigers are just more likely to have organ failure, your kidneys, your livers, whatever it is. So that's going to be a little more fatal. However, like I said, Dakar is happy and healthy. He is currently 11 years old, and he arrived in our facility back in 2017. He actually came with 16 other white Bengal tigers at the time. They did just come from a breeding and leasing facility that ended up shutting down. Mr. Dakar has 3 other friends left with him from that facility just due to health complications. It's something that we're very aware of, and we do monitor our cats very closely every single day. We do morning checks, we do night checks, we do vet checks almost biannually. So we kind of just make sure that everything's happy and healthy with them, and so far he's been doing really great. So he is always excited to show off on tours. His favorite thing about this is the snacks, though. I'm not going to make him wait too much longer. I'm not going to make you guys wait much longer. So we're going to go ahead and give him his snacks. I am going to... you saw that. So he's actually not getting a snack from my bucket. He's going to get cooler snacks. He's going to get snacks from your guys' buckets for my friends who purchased those interactive upgrades. So I have this really cool trough. Before we get too excited, I'm going to show you all how to use it. This pulls out. It's going to pull a lot farther than that. There's a little gap right here. Your chicken goes in. After that chicken goes in, you use the end of this and you push it straight into his mouth. Happy tiger, happy people, right? The one thing that I ask is that you use your gloves that I provided in your buckets to touch the chicken. After that glove touches chicken, I ask that it does not touch anything else. This pole, your face, your neighbor's face, the fence, the ground, I don't care. Just please do not put it on anything else because I don't want any of you guys to get sick. This guy can handle raw chicken, but we cannot. That sound good?
Yeah.
Alrighty, I have 3 white tigers in total for you guys to feed, so we don't need to use all of our snacks here. But whoever wants to, go ahead, step on up.
Okay, so there's 4 in here, and then there's 4 cats. So I don't know if you guys both come in. Okay, so you guys...
You say ew, but Dakar says yummy.
Okay, so you and Sissy both can go up there and do it. Okay.
Alright, and then so with your other hand, you might need some help from someone. We're going to pull this back a little farther before you put your chicken. So if you want to grab your chicken back.
Oh, no.
Nope.
Hold it.
So
Grab
pick
it
it
out.
up.
Take it out.
Here by your
Take it out.
It's a learning process. It's okay.
She's just trying to get that chicken in his mouth. That's all she cares about.
So if you wait and wait and wait, now put it in right there. Perfect. And then with your other hand, go to that pole and push. If you push a little slowly, we're all going to watch his paws. Go ahead.
Is Nicole doing writing then?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
You got it, you got it. And Dakar is going to put his lovely little paws on the fence as soon as you get a little bit closer.
A little bit closer, Sissy.
Go, 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 go. Yeah, look at those claws. Go ahead, send that snack straight into the rest of his mouth.
You got it. He says I'm getting it. Push it.
There we go.
Yum.
Beautiful. All right. Who is going to give Dakar his next snack?
That was just a timer, Lila.
Yes, just a little drumstick. It did, of course, have a bone in it, but our cats are more than happy to chew down those bones. They digest it right through. When it comes out the other end, you hardly know that it was a carnivore that ate it.
It's so cute.
These are a little stiff, but I'll help you get this out a little ways.
Can't believe I was the first
Alright, so right here.
You did good.
Yep. And then with your other hand, push. You can go a little bit faster. Usually after he puts his paws up once, he'll put them up again. Usually.
Push.
A little bit further. Keep going. Go ahead, buddy. You got it. Keep going.
All the way there. You gotta push it.
Yep. And then go the rest of the way. Yeah. He's kind of got it.
They all have like different.
Oh, do they?
There we go. You had to wiggle it around a little bit. Alrighty, like I said, so we're going to have 2 other cats. Any more snacks out of ours?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to do it again? Okay. Alright, while we're kind of going through these snacks, I do want to share those big, beautiful blue eyes, right? We all notice those. They're kind of the baby blues that he bats at you guys to get more snacks, right? All of our white tigers are born with those blue eyes. It's kind of a sign that he's not actually an albino tiger. Another sign of that is that he has his tiger stripes. If he did not have those stripes, then he would be an albino tiger with